I'm going to tell you step by step all of the things that you need to know how to create a successful digital product, and I'm going to tell you 3 different things that vast majority of the people out there miss that can double or even triple your digital product revenue and make a failed digital product actually a successful digital product. Okay, so let's jump right into it. So first of all, what you need to know. Basically, the very first thing we need to focus on is figuring out what is the biggest problem that your potential customer is facing. For example, let's say that you are in the niche of keto dieting. You want to create a product here. The problem here, I would say, would be, as example, a lack of a concrete plan how people can follow keto diet day to day. So now we want to find what is the solution for this. And a simple solution for this could be 30-day diet plan, 30-day diet checklist, 30-day challenge, so on and so forth. By the way, I'm going to leave a guide how I'm making thousands of dollars with less than 5,000 YouTube subscribers, and you can do the same. Just to show you another example, you can also see what is the biggest pain point. So for example, to create graphics for Instagram takes a lot of time. So the main problem here is creating content and having content that converts well. So when we know that this is the problem, then we can create templates that allow to basically solve these problems, allow people to easily create content and have high converting content created. Now, this isn't that plain and simple. There are some things you can do to make it just to make it a step better. So your product always has to be a solution. It has to somehow better your customer's life, whether it's business, whether it's health, whatever it really is. By the way, I created a database of best 100 digital product examples. Check out the description. But one important thing here that a lot of people make a mistake with, especially if you're expert in a specific thing, you might create a very complex solution that brings in crazy results. However, if it's going to be very complex, you're going to have a tough time selling it. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that you create a very easy solution for people to comprehend. And one other thing that works really, really well, you don't just think about, okay, what is the best product that I am creating, but you also need to think about how can I create a product that is going to be the easiest to sell. And another thing that makes the selling so much easier is if you can show clear ROI, basically return on investment. So if I invest X amount of money and I purchase your digital product, what am I going to get in return? So for example, this is very easy, let's say within like a business niche. If I buy email sequences, let's say those sequences generate me X amount of money, so I'm willing to spend X amount of money for them. With diet, however, you can also do that basically, because you can say, okay, if you're going to follow this keto diet plan, you're going to lose X amount of weight, let's say a month. And for people, okay, if that's worth $50 to lose X amount of weight per month, that's going to be a very clear exchange of goods for people. So another thing, what you want to always think about when creating a digital product is unique value proposition. You always need to think about that. So how does your product stand out from everything else out there? You don't want to compete in the red ocean. Rather than that, you want to there's a couple of different things. You can create a better version that can work, but better than that is to create something that's completely unique. So for example, if you're creating a better version, you can add more designs, perhaps you're adding better information, whatever it is. However, if you are creating something that's unique, you can create sort of a category of one, and then you don't really have any competition, and that's usually the best way to go, though it might not always be possible. So now this next section is super important. This is what a lot of people miss. It's creating multiple products when you create your products, and this is key. Like, don't if you're still listening, watching, definitely don't switch off now, because this is going to make such a massive difference. So multiple products really is a key to success, because this allows you to create a funnel, and funnel is where you really increase your revenue and you can really make a lot of money. So it's much easier for you to upsell, to cross-sell, downsell, whatever it is, to sell basically to the same customer rather than to acquire a new customer. And basically, when you create your products, if it goes together, it is going to sell well. So you need to make sure that you always think about that when you're creating your product. Honestly, it's kind of crazy because you can basically have failing, let's say if you're running Facebook ads, you have failing Facebook ads, but then you create a sales funnel with multiple products, and all of a sudden you're starting to generate way more revenue, and now those fail ads might become actually profitable ads. So this is why I emphasize that this is super important. And the way you can do this, obviously you can create your main product, your main offer, and then you can try to create some other additional products. But also what you can do is, if you have, let's say, one big product, you can also divide it into separate parts and sell those different parts separately, if that makes sense in terms of how your funnel is going to work. If you have one thing that you know, okay, this, most people will definitely want to purchase this, other parts maybe not as many people, if I sell it separately it might make sense. You need to see what kind of makes sense here, but you can basically sell those separately, or sometimes you can sell it as a bundle as well, and then you can kind of just put, okay, you buy these separate parts, you pay X amount of money, or if you buy this bundle, you get basically like a huge discount that can be part of your marketing, your conversions as well. And one thing to keep in mind is that not everyone wants to buy everything. So as I said, in certain cases, because if you have certain parts that people are really not interested in, you might as well throw them into sort of like the big package, the big product. However, in certain cases, it makes sense to have one product that is really well selling and then have other products separately, because you might just generate way more sales with that one product, having it divided into different parts. And honestly, one thing as well is that it's always easier to sell smaller product first. So you can create sort of a product that is a no-brainer. It's very, let's say, low cost type of product. It's an immediate purchase right there on the page. And then down the funnel, basically, you can upsell other different products. So now one thing I want to mention as well is that you don't need to create all of the different products yourself. This is what I see people make a mistake with. You actually want to outsource as much as possible and concentrate rather on your marketing efforts, I would say. So you can find some really cheap freelancers. And by the way, you don't need to hire full-time. I think that's what a lot of people don't understand. You can just hire part-time or hire per a specific gig. So there are websites like Fiverr, but there are also some direct freelancing websites, or even like specific companies if you need specific things done. I actually have a whole video how you can hire freelancers for your digital product, so I will link that. And there is a website that's the direct freelancer hiring website that's much cheaper than all of the other platforms that I hire all of my people from. So I will leave a video explaining that platform and a link to that, and I actually have even a special discount, so check out all of those links. But basically any part of a digital product can be outsourced, so you shouldn't be doing that stuff yourself. Just trust that you can outsource things. In the worst case, if let's say you don't have money right now and you don't want to be outsourcing, paying people, you can find collaborations. So you can find, let's say, a designer that's going to produce the designs, or someone who does specific things, whether it's like a writer, whatever it is, and you can just collaborate with them. So that perhaps you are going to do more of the marketing part and they're going to do more of the actual product creation. Or let's say if you find an expert, a lot of people do that actually, where they find experts and they are actually just kind of doing the whole backend, and then you basically just do a revenue share between each of you. And just very quickly to mention a couple of tools that I absolutely love to create digital products. So Canva is a completely free tool to create all of the graphics. Notion is an amazing tool to create all of the different databases, so on and so forth. And I will leave all of the links of the things, the softwares that I recommend for this.